on our way to Goody Goody Colleyville. Not sure which location's doing this, but we heard that they're supposed to be getting a truck today, and normally they hold the stuff and they put it out when corporate tells them to, but it looks like the store manager might be fed up at one of the stores and is just going to put it out and see what happens. So we got 2 Goody Goodies on the agenda, and we're going to see if maybe, just maybe, that's true and it's one of the ones that we're going to. If it is, maybe they'll have something. I don't know if it'll just be Buffalo Trace related or if it'll actually be some allocated whiskey that we're looking for. As far as Buffalo Trace products that go, if they did get anything in, I would assume it'd probably just be like Eagle Rare and Blanton's, but if they got either one of those and put those out, we'd probably pick up an Eagle Rare. They make great gifts. Blanton's too, if they let us get more than one bottle, but normally Goody Goody's just one bottle per person, doesn't matter what it is. If it's allocated, it's only one bottle, so we'll see. Nathan wants to know where we're going today. Notification work today. Good to hear, Ryan. We're going to go to Goody Goody Colleyville, and then we're going to go to Goody Goody Bedford, and then we'll go to our notorious, both famous and infamous specs, where infamous because it's a giant metal building that loves to eat away my cell phone reception, so that way we can't continue to be live. Sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. But also famous for my first stag at MSRP. I gotta go spend some money at that store because we bought something at another Specs the other day, and every time you purchase something at Specs, the last store you purchase from is the store where you'll get a phone call from, if you're gonna get a phone call from them for allocated bottles, whether that's through the allocation list that I signed up for or corporate. So we want to make sure that that store is one we're willing to travel to, and the other one's a little bit further out. Not that we wouldn't travel for it if the right phone call came through, but I'd hate to miss the opportunity to get a bottle just because it's too far out. Stag is the best RC cola mixer around. I don't know if you saw that, Jeff, but we picked up RC Cola cherry flavored, so we have cherry flavored RC Cola now. They had like I think it was a 12 pack or 18 pack, so we got another mixer we're gonna have to use for a YouTube short. We gotta figure out what bottle we're gonna do with that. That last live stream was a little rough, guys. We didn't drink the day after for sure because we drink a lot during that live stream. Kind of hurting from that one. Taking a different route today as well, so we'll see how this route works to get out there. I'm assuming it's because of some construction or traffic issues. It had us avoid 20, so we're getting on 360 northbound right now, and we're gonna head up to the Goody Goody Colleyville. That's the first stop. Live from the patio. What's up? Yeah, we're getting straight on to 360. And it has the exit for 20 East, 20 West, so we actually went slightly south to get on to 360. I have a feeling 20's probably shut down due to an accident, if I had to guess. And there's a speed trap up ahead, too. So we'll have to be careful of the speed trap. Hey, we got our Puerto Rican in here. What's going on? We still haven't opened up that Doc Swinson Zambarana yet. I'm still waiting for a time to do that. We got a lot of stuff that's been really bogging down the schedule. We've got a lot of stuff going on too. We got another YouTube channel we're getting ready to start. Me and Riley, we're working on a podcast style channel, so those will be pre-recorded videos. We might do a live once a month, and we're probably going to push out 3 episodes for that podcast per month whenever we get that going. We get all the ideas pretty much hardline for the first few episodes. We just need a production day where we can go and record and get everything done. It's the Whacked Out Whiskey Club, so Whacked Out Whiskey Club will be that channel. Riley's idea, but he says he doesn't want to take ownership of the channel. He wants to split ownership with it, so that'll be a fun one where it'll be more podcast oriented. My channel's still going to be whiskey, everything whiskey hunts, live streams where we're giving away stuff, having fun, so nothing's changing here. Just might be taking on some additional stuff, and we might be able to share some clips back and forth between both. That could be both comedic, because we are looking for some comedy for part of that. It's not going to just be a boring podcast. We want some comedy and some skits in there that are pretty funny, so got some pretty good ideas out there, and been asking some people too for some. So hey, Josh is in the house. What's up? Josh Castillo, Nick Jones. What's up, Mr. Nicholas? So I'm hoping that maybe one of these goody goodies will be the store. I was kind of talking about it when I first went live. Goody goodies only supposed to put out their allocations when corporate tells them. It sounds like one of the store managers, I don't know which location, so I can't just tell you which location. If I knew, I would tell you. I don't care about telling. It's on my YouTube channel. They can deal with me later. But one of the managers sounds like she's going to go rogue, or he's going to go rogue. I'm not sure if it's a female or a male. That would help if I knew, because that would narrow down a few stores. But they're supposed to get a truck today, and it sounds like the manager is just going to put everything out and just see what happens, see what corporate says, see what people say, see what people do. Because I guess this store has been getting fed up with people knowing when the drop's going to happen now, somehow, some way, with corporate. So they've got some kind of inside connection, because they had people waiting in line at 9:30 before anyone else was there. And that happened to be the day that they dropped. And the manager said, like, oh, we've never seen you here before. And now all of a sudden you guys are all here and you're all waiting for the store. Like, who told you? Who did this? Who did that? And couldn't really do anything except get pissed off and sell them bottles. So that was a little funny. So, but if that's true, and if today's the day, if Colleyville or Bedford's the location, you might be able to get some allocated bottles. But it's kind of frustrating because it seems like when they think allocated, or that they think bourbon hunters, they think we're looking just for Buffalo Trace products. They would be very strongly discouraged from hearing that we actually like other products other than Buffalo Trace, because they think that's all we're there for. Last time we went to Goody Goody and we got anything, since they took away their raffle and their bundles, we got the Old Forester single barrel strength bourbon. Actually, we were able to get 2 of those bottles. Will was not able to get one, so we got Will that other bottle, because, I mean, we really were only supposed to get one in the first place, so we kept it to just 1 bottle per person that way by giving the other one to Will. Very awesome flavor profile. It'd be cool to, find something else at Goody Goody again. It's been a bust the last few times. Some of the bottles, too, they don't consider allocated. They're supposed to just put them out on the shelf, so we've still been looking. It's been a while since we've seen or had one. Russell's Private Barrel. I know they've got some Camp Nelson E 4.4s floating around. We saw them at Applejack's. We bought a lot of stuff at Applejack's, so we had actually passed. We probably should have bought one right then and there, because we have about a third of a bottle left. But that would be a cool bottle to find, too. Some of these places make it hard to give them money. Yeah, you know what? That's the part that's been really upsetting me. You have all these stores that your job is to sell liquor, and you have customers knocking at your door or waiting in line at your door to buy said whiskey or bottles of liquor, and then you do everything you can to not sell them to them. Like, I understand not allowing someone to walk in and buy 6 bottles. Like, I don't think you should be allowed to walk in and you're like, oh, you got Eagle Rare today, let me buy a case. I get that, but also the 1 bottle limit. I mean, depending on how much you have, I don't see why you couldn't sell 2 bottles of it. And then the other issue is obviously the stores that hold it back and you don't even know what they have to buy. Bourbon Baller Lee, what's going on? We're about 20 minutes out from the store too, and it'll put us there at about 9:40, so we'll also have to wait 20 minutes because Texas law, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. hours of operation, Monday through Saturday. Liquor stores cannot be open in the state of Texas on Sunday. Grocery stores and gas stations cannot sell liquor as well, so they're kind of confined to liquor stores and liquor stores only. They're not state controlled, so they can set whatever price they want. Suggested retail price, you might as well throw that out the window at some of these stores, especially the mom and pops. The only ones that really deal with and try to get close to MSRP are the big box stores, with the exception of Total Wine. Total Wine's been jacking their prices up for so long. I don't even think they can compete with Specs or Goody Goody on pricing anymore. We were at a Total Wine yesterday, actually. I picked up 2 1792 12 years and a 1792 sweet wheat yesterday, so we got 3 bottles, all 1792s. And they went up in price. It was like $54.99, I think, for the 12 year. It was like $34 or $35 for the sweet wheat, which is a good price on the sweet wheat. But there was other stuff on the aisle that was just ridiculously priced. $71.99 for Larceny Barrel Proof. I think it was like $69.99 for Henry McKenna Bottled in Bond, the 10 year. So some of the stuff they're just going overboard on for pricing. They had a very old St. Nick, first time I've ever seen one, especially in a total wine. It was a 7-year rye maple cask for I think $159.99, which basically aligns with secondary there. They had a few other things too that they had put in the cabinet that I can't quite remember right now. We didn't videotape or anything like that. We were just going in to pick up an order, so we didn't go live for anything like that. But some of the stuff they had in the case, some of the stuff they had on the shelves, the pricing is just not. It's not good. It's not good. It's not terrible, but it's starting to align with secondary pricing. It's pretty bad. Now, do you say that from experience? Like, is there any of them that you've had that you actually liked? I mean, you might not have liked it for the price, but is there any of them that you actually had that you liked? It is a bottle on my list again. I just don't know which one to buy, and the price would have to be right because the MSRP is already high, and secondary is really not there for those bottles. Because I'm curious if there's any of those very old St. Nick's that are worth it. I think they play into the tater side of things with the different labels that they have. They're kind of like the old rib with Pappy style labels. I don't think that's enough to sell it on its own, but they seem pretty interesting. We found a store online too. I say we. Will found a store online. He shared it with me last night. It's a goody-goody. It's a little bit further out. They have Kentucky Owl Confiscated, which is their entry-level bottle, on sale for $69.99 at that location. So we're going to try and see if maybe on one of these goody-goodies that they have one of them that is at that price. I don't think we're going to find it at that price, but if we did, that'd be pretty wild. You just don't think it's any good? Have you had any of them? Like, if you had to pick an offering that you've tried, I'd be curious. Adam, Major Zero, what's going on, sir? I see you've been hanging out with the Bruzel crew, or vice versa. Maybe Bruzel's been hanging out with you. Hard to tell. It looked like there was quite a few guys there too. It looked like 83 eastbound backed all the way up. Good thing we're headed west. That looks rough for traffic. Yeah, Adam's been dealing with some Bruzel crew I saw, and it looked like maybe Myron from Bourbon Drop was in the background of one of those photos. I've had a lot to drink since then, and we were trying to, like, bounce through, but we saw what looked like Myron was in the background of one of them. So I'm curious if Myron from Bourbon Drop popped in and got in a photo or hung out with you guys. Said congrats on crossing 783. Hey, I didn't even know we're at 783. I thought we were at 780. Just you, not Myron? I thought Myron was there. Okay. I saw someone in a photo that looked similar to him. I wasn't sure. Apparently Bruzel didn't watch your video about not leaving Blanton's in a hot car. Oh, I saw that. Like, the wax was kind of like still intact around the outer ring, but the center ring popped. Yeah, I had one that did this almost exact same thing. I kind of showed it, but except mine wasn't a regular Blanton's. Mine was a straight from the barrel, so I think mine was a little bit more funny. That mine was a way more expensive bottle, harder to get. Thunderclap, Ross is over here saying, yeah, don't leave Shanks in a hot car either. Yeah, man, that sucks, getting the brand new release of Shanks and coming out to the car and, half the bottle's gone because the cork popped. That sucks. I'm hoping that we get some distribution on those here too. The calendar says that they're not supposed to be released for like another month or two, but obviously people are starting to show up with the 2024 Baumburgers and Shanks. Those would be a cool bottle to pick up. I'd be curious to see how they compare to each other. I know the 23, the Baumburgers, was a little bit more desirable than the Shanks. I'm curious if that's going to switch roles this year or not. 13-year rye, reserve cask, 12-year are all bad and not worth the money. Man, Bourbon Baller's over here saving me money. Here we are trying to buy some very old St. Nick's, and he's over here trying to tell us, don't do it. Don't do it. They ain't worth it. Thanks for looking out for me. I guess I'll have to try to erase that one from my mind and make sure we don't try to pick one of those up then. I thought it'd be cool because they had quite a few different offerings, bourbon and rye, and different finishes. You just got 8 cases of Shanks and Bombergers at the store? Damn, that's a lot. And with Bombergers and Shanks, is it 3 and 3? Like, is it six bottles per case, 3 Shanks, 3 Bombergers, or is it just six Bombergers in 1 case and 6 Shanks? How do they do those? Because I know those pairings, they come out at the same exact time, but are they in the same exact box split, 3 and 3? Oh, they're 3 packs. Okay, so it's a 3-pack of Bombergers, 3-pack of Shanks. That's pretty cool. Bonding over whiskey. What's going on, sir? 24 bottles of each. Nice. I'm just trying to probably get a pair this year. We only got 1 last year. We could have got both, but we just picked up the 1 Bombergers. We went to Total Wine. Could have got a Shanks and a Bombergers, but chose just the Bombergers. Bombergers was $99.99, and the Shanks I want to say was like $79.99, and that was at Total Wine. Their pricing for Bombergers, the 2 other times I bought it, was still $99.99, so it's $108.24 out the door with the Texas tax rate. If the price is still the same this year, I'd probably pick them up. If the price goes up, I might be a little bit more hesitant. I'll still probably pick them up, but I won't try to really hunt for them or even try to get multiples. Coming up on our exit. Got 1 mile till our exit. You haven't had a bad, very old St. Nick? Well, you know what they say, Adam. You got a trash palate. Bourbon Baller Lee's telling me it's not worth it, so we might have to skip out. We'll see though. We'll see. If the right price comes up, we'd still probably buy one anyways. At home, about to use the cycle machine and try a new coffee. Ross says prices are up about 10. You think? I mean, $99.99 to $109.99. That's not horrendous. Same thing with Shanks. It's still, I mean, obviously less than their secondary counterpart price. So as long as we're below secondary prices, that'd be cool. This guy's like got one of those things on his bed for hauling glass, and he's over here like brake checking people. Not very smart. Taking our exit now. It's still 8 minutes out from the store. Going to the Colleyville location first. Jesus, the Bloody 81, what's going on? If I remember right, Jesus, you said you will not be getting deployed, so obviously there's some good and bad in that. Obviously, being deployed is pretty badass, but having you around longer is also really cool, so. Not like you weren't going to come back, just obviously now you don't have to worry about going overseas and disappearing off the grid for a while. Coffee is very thin for a dark roast. So it's right lane closed, gotta merge. Everywhere does construction. You said Bombergers and Shanks are really expensive in Washington. What do they charge for them in Washington? I know that you guys got a liter tax and all those other taxes that come into purchasing liquor, including sales tax. Isn't the tax rate like 27.5% or some ridiculous number like that? And that's not just for Bombergers and Shanks. That's like for all liquor. We're 7 more minutes out. We're now in the neighborhood area, so we'll showcase that so you guys can see us driving around. Move that hat so you guys can see better too. Not in a hurry because we got plenty of time to get there. Actually gonna get there early. It's showing 9:38, so we got 22 minutes from the time we get there that we're gonna have to wait for the doors to open, which is never fun, but it is what it is. 131 pre-tax for Shanks and 142 pre-tax for Bombergers with a 27% tax. Yeah, I thought it was 27.5. That's rough. That's rough. I mean, if you did enlist bonding over whiskey like that, the benefits that you get just by going, no matter what your MOS is after you get out, is just incredible. Most guys get tore up, whether it's through boot camp or through their actual MOS, and they're entitled to money for the rest of their life. And we get a lot of guys I work with that have anywhere between 50 to 100% disability through the military, getting money every single month, tax free. We got some guys that if they hit all the dependents and everything with 100% disability, they're getting $4,000 a month tax free. Plus, they're also working with me, so they're making about another, I don't know, 3,800 to 4,000 a month after taxes, plus all the benefits they reap from continuing federal service. So some of them are bringing in about $8,000 a month with doing very minimal work. So might be something to look into. Adam said he's headed back to work. He said don't sleep on the very old St. Nick. Haven't had a bad one yet. If you can get it on a deal on it. I don't know about a deal on it. Definitely get one. I don't know if it's a deal though. It is nice that you're with family, but yeah, it is a shame on how they did you like that. But it is what it is. I mean, you can't really change it. Just got to keep moving forward. One of those things where it does suck, but like spending time with family is also really nice and really important. You said your dad did military service for 11 years. Paratrooper, tank technician for the 101st Airborne. Yeah, the training for paratroopers is ridiculous. I mean, that alone, you could pretty much get 100% disability because most of those guys, their knees are completely shot on both legs and their back shot. And they have a very lower quality of life compared to everybody else. I get a couple guys that were jumping out of helicopters too that I work with that their knees are so jacked up and their back so jacked up from jumping out and sliding down ropes with all that gear. Landing with a parachute's not much better. It's still a heavy landing even with all that gear. It does suck, but I mean they are at least compensated for the rest of life. It's never enough to have your body back. You only have one body, and some of these guys absolutely destroy their body for the sake of employment, work, safety of our country. I mean, you name it. There's a whole bunch of factors that play into it. Three minutes out from the store. We're getting pretty close. Still got time to wait though, unfortunately. We'll see though. Maybe today will be the day. I've actually never purchased anything from the store that was worth a damn, so I'm hoping today maybe we can find something. Been very unlucky. This is the Colleyville goody. If Dollar Bill is in chat or pops in chat, he might be working. He normally still pops in and says something. He's told me that this is the store he's had the better luck at, but for me, I haven't been able to do it. Will does have some good IT skills, and he has been able to find some stuff on the website for deals and discounts at multiple locations, and been able to order online for pickup. Ordering online for pickup is huge, because if they confirm your order, they basically save you that bottle, and then you just walk in. You've already paid for it online and just pick it up. You show your ID and it's yours. So definitely pretty cool when you can do that. Training focused on boot camp, firearm cleaning, repairing. Wouldn't be on the front. Yeah, no, you wouldn't be on the front line, but still, some of the training they go through is still pretty excessive. Hazmat Compton, what's up? Hazmat won a bottle recently, and he said he enjoyed it, so maybe we'll find some more bottles to pick up today, even if it's not for me, but more to give away on the channel. We're slowly downsizing on our collection too. In case you guys haven't been keeping track with the Discord, whether that's my Discord server or the Reload server, we're trying to downsize, and we're going to try to start upscaling the bottles that we buy, some higher statute bottles. We got Joel Rogers and Joel S in the chat. What's going on, guys? Green River Full Proof is good stuff. Good to hear. We're trying to find some single barrel full proofs too. That's what we thought we were looking for. We've only seen the regular full proofs. Also, Goody Goody's been having RD1 store picks, so maybe we'll find an RD1 store pick. Those are white labeled. They do have the store picks for finished product. I think the store picks that we've been picking up though, or that the guys have been picking up, have been just the regular whiskey or bourbon. So we'll see what we can find there. Pulling into the parking lot right now for Colleyville. See if we can get parked and see what we can find. Not too hopeful, but we'll see. Pulling through on the wrong side of the parking. I'm one of those guys. Only here though. I don't do that at grocery stores. Going to do some hunting today in San Antonio. Well, I wish you luck in San Antonio just as much as I hope that I have some kind of luck today. I'm worried about the drill instructors giving some pushback. Hey, Michael Rodriguez, good morning. You going anywhere today, Michael? Got Emrod in the chat. We're at the Goody Goody Colleyville, and we're going to go to the Goody Goody in Bedford as well. Was talking to one of our contacts. He said there's a manager, I don't know who it was, what location. They're kind of fed up with the new system too, so whenever they get a truck in, instead of waiting and putting it out when corporate tells them, they're just going to put it all out anyways and see what happens. So maybe this is one of those locations. Maybe the Bedford one that I'm going to go to afterwards, maybe that's a location, but we'll see. Stuck in the office today. That's all right. Bonnie River Whiskey said he's going to hunt in Weatherford and Mineral Wells today. We got a lot of guys that are in the DFW Metroplex area, so we'll see if anything starts popping up. What sucks is while we're live, we can't really check the Discord, but there's a Discord that we're a part of that has store drop info. So anytime someone walks in, it starts at 10 a.m. From 10 a.m. to about 10:30 a.m. That chat's popping off with nothing at this store, nothing at this store, nothing, and it tells you the exact stores, location and everything. Or it'll say, oh, they have this, this, and this at this store, and then you can ask pricing if you really want to know, or ask how many bottles they have left, and most of the guys, they know. So if you're quick and you're close by to one of these stores, you absolutely can score. So I'm hoping though, because this place, I've never seen anyone line up to walk in at open except for some of the old heads that come in for their like, I call them daily drinkers. They buy like the 375s or the 50 mLs, or they'll get like a big bottle or big handle whenever they run out. But they're your guys that drink kind of regularly. They're not there for whiskey. I've never seen anyone line up at the store ever, so I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. I'm hoping the one time I come here, there's no line. I can just walk right in and get something really cool, so that'd be awesome. Won't be leaving till 10:30. I mean, that getting to the store before they open, like at 10 a.m. or right before 10 a.m., like 9:45, I think is like the sweet spot for me. I try to go to the stores that are less hunted to where I'm not having to wait in line. We waited in line yesterday for an hour and a half, 2 hours roughly. All we got was, $17.92, and they didn't even have it when they opened. We knew they had it because it was on the truck, so we were able to order online and go pick it up, but they didn't even have it when they opened up. It was like 2.5, 3 hours after the store opened before they finally put it out, which really sucks. But it is what it is. But at the end of the day, if you can get there before, one, it lets you know, is that store hunted often or not, especially if you know it's a drop day. So like Tuesdays and Fridays is typically Total Wine, Wednesdays and Fridays is typically Specs. So we will go to a Specs, maybe 2 Specs today. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I have said it almost every time on my lives, oh, I'm not looking for anything, or I'm not expecting anything. And those are the days where I typically find the best stuff. It's the days where I'm like, oh, I know they have E.H. Taylor small batch or single barrel, and then I don't find any of it that day. So it's kind of weird. Like, we know that they have it because some of the guys have access to the like manifest, whatever it's called, from the trucks, like the shipment. They know, like, they see the catalog, they see the log, they know what's on the truck, they know that truck just dropped off, and they know those bottles have been checked into the system, because some of the online systems, they can't defeat the system that they have in place. So a lot of them, as soon as they use the little scanner and they scan the bottle, so they take and they scan the barcode, as soon as they scan that barcode, it's like, it's a done deal. That bottle's in the system. The guys who know, they've already seen what store has scanned it in, so it's just a matter of, will that store put it out, and can they get a bottle of it? So pretty cool on how some of these guys have that heads up. You said you just left another meeting that should have been an email. Fun stuff. Hey, incompetence, incompetence, incompetence. That's most people's work. You can only dumb it down so much for some of these people, and some of them, they still can't figure it out, even if you spoon fed it to them. For the Specs Irving drop, I plan on showing up at 5 a.m. and hope for the best. I don't want it to be midnight and say, yay, it's my birthday, time to drive 3 hours. You know what, though? I mean, a lot of the guys are going to be camping out for that Irving drop. It's on December 28th. The bottle list is already posted. Um, if you're like in the top, I would say 300 or 400 people in line, like you're pretty much going to have access to every store pick that you want from that list, except for the last table. The last table, those are the more highly sought after allocated bottles. Those will go pretty quick, even with the pricing on them, because you know people are going to load up their cart with probably $1,000 to $2,000 worth of alcohol. They're going to get to that last table and they're going to be like, damn, do I really spend, you know, $350 on a purple top? Nathan said he camped out 2 nights last time, and I bet Nathan was pretty far up in line. At 2 nights, I bet you were top 50. I'm going to guess that you were like 38, 39 in line if you camped out 2 nights before for the last drop. That's just my guess. So, Nathan, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of guys got there the day of at like 2 a.m. and they were in top 100 in line. By 3 a.m., the line was at like 150, 200 people, and then by like 5 a.m., you know, there's 300 or 400 people in line. 90th, wow, 2 nights and he was 90th. I figured he'd been top 50, so maybe my math was wrong. I thought there were some guys that got there at 2 a.m. the day of and were top 100, but maybe they lied, or we're at a different location. I think Nathan's in the DFW area, so he's probably at the one that was here, Dallas. But hope to sleep from 9 to 2, then drive to Irving, pre-eating cherries, energy drink, hot plate, pan, pot, eggs, and grits. Legit, I'm making sure I won't have to leave. I'll be there the day after Christmas, baby. Excited to party in the RV with the boys. You know what? The day after Christmas is pretty wild. If we could swing that, I don't want to be in trouble with the family and the wife, but it would be pretty awesome. But I have a feeling I'll probably get there the day before on the 27th, and then it'll be probably at night when I get there, and that way the day of we can make it happen. From Michigan to Texas, yeah, Michigan boys coming down to Texas just for some alcohol. Top 350 were there before sunset the night before. Damn. Well, I think it's going to be even worse this time, and the reason why I say that is because they already know it's December 28th. Like, now they know that. Last year they didn't know that far in advance, and we got people from all over the country coming in. So if you don't get your number one, have you seen the list? Do I need to share with the list with you again? I can send you the list. I think honestly, if they have enough bottles, which they hold back a lot, a Stag store pick, a Blanton's Gold store pick, either a 107 or full proof. They won't let you get both. One of those is a store pick. I would say an Old Forester single barrel strength bourbon store pick. I'm trying to think what else. Honestly, those 4 bottles alone for me, those are worth my time if I can get one of those and not have to, you know, fight anyone over them. There's obviously several other heavy hitters. Russell's Private Barrels is another bottle. They'll have every Four Roses recipe. They'll have all 10 recipes available. You only get to pick one. I've already stated I don't care for Four Roses, not their single barrels, cask strengths, or barrel strengths. So I've already volunteered. I will pick up whatever recipe someone wants to call beforehand as my one recipe, and we'll make that happen to where they can get that bottle, so they can pick a different recipe and I'll pick that one. That way they can get 2. You'll want the highest rye. I don't know what they're gonna have for ryes. It will be a crazy drop. I mean, they have a long list of stuff that they're dropping. Most people will spend anywhere between, I'd say, $1,200 to $2,500 on bottles, because they have so many bottles. And they'll probably have, Mr. Mom, good morning, first name, last name, what's going on? They'll probably have, if I had to guess, 2,000 people this year, maybe. They'll have at least 1,000 people, I would say, that'll come through in any given day at that store. Some of them will come through and they'll get there at like noon or like 1 p.m. and they'll still have stuff. Yeah, Michael, I can send you that list. Just send me a text message to remind me and I'll pull it up. Or you can just, Google specs end of the year drop, December 28th drop or allocated whiskey drop, and then it'll take you to the specs website for December 28th, and it'll have the 3 locations, what each location has, and then at the bottom there'll be non-store pick. There'll be another list of even more bottles that they'll drop, like Elijah Craig 18 and stuff like that. Hoping to spend max $300. I would definitely encourage you to have more than that for that drop. I know that might be a little stretch for your budget, but if you can get closer to $600 for your budget, you should be able to get some really good bottles, and then you don't have to really buy any throughout the next few months or even spend time hunting or gas, because you can get a lot of stuff. Expecting to spend $1,500 to $2,000 because I'm just a DJ. Yeah. Yeah, Michael is in our Discord as well too. Okay, Michael found it online. Yeah, it's pretty easy to find this year. I mean, last time it felt like it was a secret. Couldn't really find it. So we got 11 more minutes till the store opens up. They got an employee that's like waiting at the front with like a little dolly. There's nothing on the dolly, but no one's come to let her in. I know the other day we waited here and there was no one to open the door on time, so that was pretty funny. Let's see what this is. My mom's watching my kid right now and she's like, what is with this biting? He won't stop. I guess he's trying to bite her. I'm lucky to spend $150. I mean, if you can set money aside just for this event, like this event, you can shop for whiskey for the entire year and get some crazy awesome store picks, including Eagle Rare 2 and Buffalo Trace store picks if you want those. But like everything's a store pick. It's 1 bottle per table unless it says otherwise. Some of them, like the Weller Full Proof 107 table, it's an either or. You either get a 107 store pick or you get a full proof store pick. You don't get both. And the way they have it spaced out, it's to help make sure everybody has the opportunity to get bottles and not run out super quick. At the end of the day, they had so many bottles left over that they actually started saying no limits, and you could buy, a case, a sealed case of Buffalo Trace, a sealed case of Old Forester single barrel strength bourbon. You could buy as many as you wanted at the end of the night. So some of those guys, they went crazy. So depending on what job I can get, I will increase the budget. Still unemployed, but my one interview went trash. Oh, that's not good. Felt like a guilty spending $430 Monday on Total Wine curbside haul. You know what? If you get the right bottles at this specs drop, you can do a lot more than $430, but you will get some crazy bottles. Normally not a big spender. John J. Bourbon and Russell's 15 took the whole budget last weekend. Well, congratulations on the Russell 15. Must be nice to actually be able to get one. I was not successful in getting one. One trip and cross off many allocations and awesome bottles for the year. Absolutely. I'm really enjoying any store picks. Well, like every single bottle they have for the most part is all store picks. There's a few that won't be though. Apparently there is a store in Abilene that does picks. Need to go there soon as well. Yeah, there's several stores that they're known for their store picks. They have a lot more than the average day person. So Cast 529, what's going on? We got 9 more minutes till the store opens up too. Showed up at 2 p.m. last year and was able to pick up 2 blends: Old Forester single barrel strength, 4 Roses Wild Turkey, Kentucky Spirit, and a JD10. So even showing up at 2 p.m. last year, the day of, this man got 2 Blantons, he got a JD10 and an Old Forester single barrel strength bourbon. Those are the bottles I would pick up off the list that he said he picked up. I would probably pass on the Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit, and I'm not a 4 Roses person, but that's pretty damn good for the day of. Is it all specs or one in particular? So if you go online and you look for the specs end of the year drop, the December 28th location, there's 3. There's one in Irving, which is the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I want to say the other one's Houston, and the other one's like San Antonio. But all 3 of them are located on the website, so you can see, and along with the bottle list on what they're already going to have, which tells you they're already got these bottles, they're already holding them back. Hey, you're in Georgia, any places to hunt? my Georgia boys, I don't know if any of them are in chat, but Matt from Whiskey Wisdom, we got, who else we got in there? I think Sean for Echoes and Eternity, Barrel Dave, they're all in Georgia. I'm not sure where to hunt. I don't know where those guys go. I don't know how far away that is from the distillery, but if you could get out to Short Barrel has been my favorite place to shop online whenever I can get their limited releases. There we go. Irving, Houston, and San Antonio. I got it right, I think. Austin, Houston, and Irving. One of the three. There we go. Travis posted them. Anyways, those stores are crazy at the end of the year. The Irving one, we got a bunch of guys coming from out of the state that are going to come hang out. Most of them are going to camp out for several days. I'm going to try to go the day before, like in the evening. The goal is I'm going to have a unicorn bottle, which we already have a couple now in our possession that we haven't announced or really showcased on the channel. We're going to bring one of those bottles to the event. I want to do a live stream with the boys from the Discord, from the YouTube channel. I want to fresh crack it, and I want to bottle kill that unicorn in the same live stream. So it'll be a giant party, basically, where people are going to be drinking. I know on the website it says no drinking will occur. I promise you that it's a giant party the entire time. People are bringing food, eating there. They got drinks. There's porta potties throughout the entire freaking place. They like bus in loads of porta potties just because of this giant event. They make everyone park kind of like in the center, and then everybody lines up on the outer perimeter of the entire property. It's super wild. Hundreds and hundreds of people. Excited to try the Short Barrel sample that I gave you. The 95.5 rye is the 12-year store pick. The store pick was a Whiskey Wisdom Sean from Echoes and Eternity pick. It only has the Whiskey Wisdom sticker on mine because they didn't have Sean stickers just yet. I want to say it's MGP, which is why it's 95.5. 12-year, pretty damn good. 26 views and only 13 likes. Shaking my head. Hit that like button. Appreciate that, Nick Jones. GTS, you know what? We might have a GTS there as well that we might open and kill. We also might have a 13 Colony 15th anniversary. We might have a few, but we're going to pick one just for the live stream. But we're going to be sharing some pretty crazy stuff up there. I'll probably bring one or two really nice bottles, and then I'll bring like a shelf or something. Save the empty bottle and get it made into a desk lamp. I do have a Thomas H. Handy bottle that we could probably do that with, so... Looks like our goody employee finally got let in. We got 5 more minutes till the store opens up, so still got some time to kill. There's no one here in line or around me even close to waiting for this liquor store, so maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. Like I said, I've never seen anyone wait here. We got 5 more minutes till the store opens up, though. We'll hit this one. We'll drive to the specs across from the other goody, go to that goody as well, and then we'll go to another spec. So this will be pretty similar to what we did the other week, where we do 2 goodies and 2 specs in one day. Basically, Bullet 12 rye with a Whiskey Wisdom sticker on it. No, not even close. It's high proof too. It's high proof. It's like 130 something proof, 134 proof, 131 proof. Bullet 12-year rye, I promise you, isn't that high. 22 GTS is getting cracked tomorrow with the boys. Hey, that's awesome. Shirt looks like it feels great on the nipples. It's just an undershirt. We don't wear our work gear out and about, but we have part of our uniform in our bag, so we just don't suit up for going into a liquor store. We don't want to scare people. Got another car that pulled up. I don't know if they're here for whiskey or not, but no line yet. 4 minutes. Seen a guy in a live stream that goes by Top Dog. He made a few lamps for a charity fundraiser 2 weekends ago. You know what? I've seen some of those really cool lamps too. I've seen some of them where the bottle itself is like mounted to a base to where it's very like sturdy, and on the base it has electrical work going through it, so it has like a toggle switch, so you can turn the light on and off with that toggle switch. Or they have ones where it's like a dial, so you can change the brightness like a dimmer switch. That's the reason why I don't have the Bullet 12-year rye. Proof is weak sauce. Well, this one, I promise you the proof is not weak sauce. It's pretty hefty. Knock your socks off. No, I want to get some more Bee's Knees too. It's a fall release. It's a limited release from Short Barrel. I'm going to try to get some Bee's Knees this year. I think they'll be releasing their 4th batch. And they do distribute to Texas, so you can order for delivery. I don't know if they'll deliver to Ranger, Texas. We'll have to check on that. If they don't, we got some guys we can have you send them the bottle to that address, and then we can hand deliver them from there. But the distillery will ship out, and we can get stuff from Short Barrel, which is pretty cool. Yeah, any Short Barrel high age 95.5 picks are out of this world. That's been the common denominator from what I've seen, even with the ones that Riley's been able to pick up. Mark Duffy, what's going on? Lady tried to just walk right into Goody Goody. They aren't even open. We got 2 more minutes, lady. Come on now. Couple people driving by. I'm not a fan of bee's knees for obvious reason that you know about me. Also, I don't like whiskey with sediment in the bottle. It feels gross. Hey, that sediment, sometimes that sediment's flavor. Do you know if Rebecca Creek is going to have another release of Spanish Oak? Currently they're discontinued. They only have like a barrel or 2 left at the distillery. It'll probably be distillery release only. So if they decide to continue to make that, it takes a minimum of 6 years. 6 years. 6 years to make it. So they have 2 years on the barrels, and then they have 4 more years in Spanish Oak. So 6 years. So if they decide they want to do it, it's going to take at least 6 years to have any kind of double barrel Spanish Oak. So any bottles that are out there, that's all that's left for now. And Lochtar Patrick, he works at the distillery. He says they have talked about making more, but like I said, 6 more years before you'd even see any of it. Nathan said he spent $1,500 last year at the Specs Drop. Got a Spanish double oak last week. Yeah, if you can get one, they're pretty much sold out everywhere, especially for the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area. Anything on the like southeast side of town, I've pretty much bought every single bottle. We had a bunch of 128.7 proofs that we'd picked up. I know Matt, he picked up they had like 128.8, which is the highest proof they ever made of them. Should be opening the door right now. Hello. How are you doing?
How are you?
Good. Any allocated whiskey coming in? No, come on now.
No.
That's what I'm here for, though.
These are all random 4-foot-1 drops that just come up randomly.
Yep, I know. I have yet to time one.
They usually happen on Saturdays when they do happen.
Okay, perfect. Corporate Rand drops. Gotta love corporate. Still take a look. $132.7 proof, $64.99. Mr. Mom liked the scenery, apparently. Not seen anything too crazy. Yeah, the rye batch 2 is still on the front. Or batch 3, Nathan, you're right. Just very pricey. We don't look at the neck of the bottle on the rye. Only on the bourbon. For the Jack Daniels. Coy Hill warehouse is only for the bourbon. For $59.99. Squeeze by, excuse me. Alright, guys. Nothing at this store that we have to get. I didn't even see a barrel strength bourbon of the Jack Daniels here, just the selects. Must be out. Yeah, only the bourbons can be Coy Hill. Ryes come from different rick houses. Well, that was the most boring hunt, walking into a store telling us there's nothing new. Those Kentucky Owls are very expensive though. They're like $300+ before tax. If they ever give a discount on those or sell those for cheaper, best believe I'd buy them just because of how expensive they've been on the shelf. Guns and Bourbon, what's up? On the barrel strength bourbons, Mark, if you find one that has on the neck of it, you'll see the first number and then dash the next. That's the rick house, that first number. You're looking for 8 or 13. So 8 or 13 is what you're looking for. All right, let's go to the other location and see if we can get lucky there. Another day of chasing that money. Yeah, 8 or 13 are the same rick houses where the Coy Hill comes out of. So it might not state Coy Hill on the bottle, but if you get an 8 or 13, you might just have Coy Hill that's not branded as Coy Hill. So could be interesting to look for. I bet if I find one, I would probably buy one, go out in the parking lot, open it, try it. And if it tasted right, I would probably go and buy every single bottle that I could. Didn't get anything there. They didn't have any allocated bottles is what they told me. We checked anyways, though, just in case they had something that maybe we were looking for, like a hidden gem on the aisle. We are on our way to the next store. It's 10 minutes away. We'll check that goody. And there's also specs over there too, so we'll probably hit the specs first since it's kind of on the way. They're like a minute apart from each other, so either way we'll be able to hit both. That's the nature of whiskey hunting though, and go looking for bourbon. Sometimes you score, sometimes you don't. Honestly, the days that I don't, sometimes I'm thankful for them. Helps keep the wallet fat, otherwise we'll be broke. Spending all our money on whiskey. Probably need to do better about budgeting on this so we can make sure we have money set aside, but we got a pretty good balance right now just for whiskey, so find the right bottle at the right price. The problem is the big allocated bottles, they sell out, especially if they're close to MSRP here. Go to the mom and pops, they're super marked up, and half of them they won't negotiate or come down on price, even though they've been sitting on that bottle for years. Have I seen any JT Melick in DFW? Absolutely, I have. Just the regular standard offering though. So if you're looking for the standard offering, they definitely have it. Juno's liquor store. It's like off of Cooper Street. One of the mom and pop stores that's veteran owns. I know he has it. Honestly, anytime you are out hunting, you can just send photos of the allocated sections or anything that looks interesting. I always excited to look at what people have in their area. I know you've done that a couple times in the past too. So as far as hunting in particular, I don't have anything on the list that like I have is like, oh, I have to have this or I have to have that, where I don't want to have a whole bunch of people hunting for me if I don't even know what I want. I'm indecisive. The whiskey club tasting will be a lot more fun. It's a good time, but your lives are a great time too. Going to the neighborhood. Yeah, this store is like directly north. The Colleyville's like directly north of the Bedford store, so you kind of got to go through these neighborhoods to get to it without having to circle back. 6 minutes out. Probably even shorter than that, depending on where we come out at, because we might just pop into the specs first, whichever one we're closest to, then we'll go to the other one after, and then we'll go to the last specs for the day. Honestly, if it's 107, 12, full proof, CYPB, or single barrel, I would pay $100 for all of those bottles or less. Obviously, the cheaper you can get them, the better. But the only ones I wouldn't pay $100 for is like the special reserve. We're not really hunting Weller that hard anymore. They're great bottles. I love to have them, especially 107 as we need to get more. We have 4 bottles in our possession. We have a 5th one that's going to be sent out this weekend. So we'll need 5 more bottles. So I'm slowly grabbing up the 107s for that 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I'll probably just do an in search of post. I do have a guy that's local to me. I say local loosely. He's like super far north of the Metroplex, but I can meet up with him, and he has the remaining 107s I need that I can get for $100 a bottle. So if it's more than $100 a bottle, I'm not really stressed or looking for them. Mark Duffy says my JD says RH2, so I must have Roy Hill. Definitely not Coy Hill. That's funny though. Yeah, 107's a big priority. Honestly, if you ever find single barrel or CYPB, either one of those at $200 or less is like an immediate buy, like no hesitation. You'll get your money back on those very, very easily. People like to collect and finish their rainbow. I don't think either one of those bottles is worth $200 to drink, but people want them for collections, so I would never buy them just to have or to drink, but to trade for stuff that I actually wanted, I definitely would probably pick those up. I think CYPBs are going for like $400 and single barrels are going for like $450, so they're like the cheapest they've ever been in a while. Alright, we're coming up on the intersection. We're going to go to the specs on the right, and then we'll go to the goody goody right after on the left. So we are 2 minutes out. 107 at retail here in Ohio is freaking exceptional if you can get them there. I just don't see 107. We pay $100 to $110 a bottle on secondary for 107. Get them down to $100 a bottle when we buy multiple. I've never had the chance to get them for cheaper. Land of Weller up in Ohio. Anyone know how many bottles they make of Russell's 15? I'm sure it was a shit ton because they did 2 online drops, and I think they only distributed like a third of the bottles, so there's going to be even more that get distributed later. I'm sure Specs will hold a bunch of them and do phone calls for them. I don't know the actual number, so I'd be interested to know the actual number of bottles made of Russell 15 as well. I think retail on 107 is like $58, I think. Cass said it hits quite often up there too. All this construction. $58.99. That's kind of what I was thinking. They got a Coors truck. Anybody need some beer? Retail on Weller Special Reserve, I can get the 750s for like $24.99 here. The 75s I can get for like $48.99. A lot of places are hard to get allocated bottles. Some of them are state controlled and they have to abide by certain rules and laws on when they can put them out in pricing. Hey, how you guys doing? Larceny barrel proof. They want 60 to 89 here. Damn. $19 at Costco. That's crazy for Weller Special Reserve. I've never seen it that cheap. Been looking at these Nulus too. Looking for the experimental series. Looking for like a honey finished if I can ever find one. Four-year tumbling dice, 100 proof. 107, or sorry, the Baker 7 is a 7 year 5 months. It's 107 proof, pretty good bottle too. Looking for the higher age ones though. Regular 13 colony, no cash strength. Barrel proof bourbon. This is a Rickhouse 3, 128.6 proof. Here you go, Special Reserve. $25.99 for a 750 at Weller Special Reserve, and then $24.99 for the 750 Buffalo Trace. Got 5 more Weller Special Reserves. Got so much Weller Special Reserve around here though. I almost never pick up a bottle If I need one, I'll pick it up like the day of or the day before. Gonna run right over to the next store, right around the corner. Yep, well, you just saw special reserve here for a pretty good price. All right, now we're gonna come out here, go through the light, and we'll be at Goody Goody. We got one other specs we can check. Only thing they had at this specs though was the Weller Special Reserve and Buffalo Trace. Stuff in the cabinet didn't look too appealing, especially not for the prices. I'd like to see a Russell's private barrel if we could find one. All right. It is nice to see some of the flags flying around. Don't see that as often. Hey, how you doing? Got Buffalo Trace and Weller Special Reserve. .75s and 750s. Disco 10. Chapao. Seven-year tumbling dice. That's a single barrel, but no private barrel. Flare Ranch pick that we will not pick up again. $84.99. That was like a punishment for me, man. That stuff was rough. Barrel proof pick 131.1. Rickhouse 2. Just regular RD1s, no store picks. 2 more bottles at early times for $24.99. $59.99 on Henry McKinney. I got 3 more. Flavored stuff. Texas stuff. Yeah, rip Paul Walker. You gotta love the songs that, you know, hit me with copy strike. Hit you in the fields. River set, but that's just the 93. We're looking for the cask strengths. Barrel proof rye, store picks. 132.7. $64.99. Canadian. I guess we can go show off some tequila while we're here too, before we head to our other specs, our last and final one. Surprised we didn't see any RD1 picks at either one of these stores. I don't see that being a super highly desirable bottle that's going to sell out. try to do our best to pick out the stuff that we recognize and know for tequila, because we don't know a lot. Know very little. Get that Mi Campo down to the bottle, the Repo for $24.99. G4 Blanco for $47.99. $55. That's a little pricey. I think they're like $46.99 when I find them here, but they're not for me. If the person we'd have to ask would be Tyler. He's in the Discord. El Tesoro single barrel, $54.99, and the Añejo for $70.59. I think the other store, the Specs, has the extra Añejo. Don't see any Ocho. We'll check out the Scotch as well. Look if they have a Glenmorangie 18 at a good price. Don't see one up there. Some Macallan Balvenie 14 for $106.99. Try to find one closer to $84.99. We'll probably pick up a Balvenie 14. Some Redbreast Powers. Thank you. I just look for allocated whiskey. I know you guys can only put it out when corporate tells you to now, so it's tough to find. Thank you. El Tesoro is good stuff. I think the Specs we're getting ready to go to has an extra Añejo for like, I think like 110, 115. I could be wrong. Might be something worth picking up here in the future. Not a big tequila person by any means, but willing to try it. Mike, what's going on? Yeah, his name is Tyler in Discord. It's like Tyler M. Hey, Taylor Boone, what's going on? Yeah, we're gonna go to one more Specs. So far, the only things that we found have been the Buffalo Trace and Weller Special Reserve, but we didn't pick any of that up because, I mean, like I said, it just kind of sits on the shelf here. All right, this next store is 9 minutes away. Tyler M is daddy's what Nick Jones is. Tyler's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome dude. Riley Tesla, what's going on? On our way to the Specs now and see if we can find anything there. So far, been to 2 goody goodies and 1 Specs, and all we found was Buffalo Trace and Weller Special Reserve. Nope, just Weller Special Reserve and Buffalo Trace, Riley. Everybody thinks that's what everybody's looking for, and we've seen the 750s and the 1.75s of the Special Reserve and the 750s of the Buffalo Trace, and we passed on all of it. We're going to see if there's something at this last Specs. Even if there's not anything at this last Specs, we do have to purchase something at the store because of the point system. If we ever get a phone call to pick up a bottle, we want to make sure we don't have to go super far to pick one up. So I do need to make a purchase here because they've made a purchase at a Specs recently that was not this location. No Old Carter. They do have some old batches of Kentucky out at some of these places, but you know, $320 before taxes. I mean, you're talking, you know, $360, $370 out the door. They had like a batch 3 of the rye of it. Pretty wild. A lot of money for the Kentucky Owls though. Old Carter would be more interesting to me, but we don't see them here. That's why when you had all those on that shelf at that one store, I was pretty impressed, Mike. They had 4 of them, you said. 2 bourbons, or 1 bourbon, 2 ryes, or 2 bourbons, 1 rye, and then 1 American whiskey, I think is what you had said. I can't even remember now. You're 7 minutes out. One last specs, infamous for the YouTube because we can never stay connected, but we will try. Mike was doing what I was doing, but on Discord for us. He was streaming the drive and showing off the store all in the Discord, so we were able to shop through Mike the other day, so that was pretty cool. Yes, Mr. Mom, I have. I actually have one on the shelf. The Whacked Out Whiskey Club that Riley and I are going to be doing a podcast on. We're going to have pours of whiskey that we'll talk about to start out and end the podcast with. One of the episodes, that bottle will probably make an appearance. Very good, very, very affordable, very easy to find here. They're like $34.99, I think, on the high side. Sometimes you can find them even cheaper than that. Very easy drinker. So yeah, that bottle, definitely have that one. Definitely like that one. Awesome pour. See a lot of Old Carter at a couple shops near me. A little above your price point though. Batches that are standouts. I was just looking for older batches, but obviously the price dictates whether I buy it or not, because some of them they have pretty high up there on some of those Old Carters. Yeah, Mike, I'm excited too because of that Rebel pick that you showed me that had the Chewbacca on it. I'm definitely going to need to pick one of those up in the near future and get one sent out to a buddy. I haven't heard from him in a long time though, so that's why I didn't have you pick one up the other day, because if you don't start conversing with me again, he might not get a bottle. Gonna grab one in your next curbside? You should. It's a great bottle. It's a great bottle. Awesome drinker. Very, very low proof, but very rich in flavor. Very easy to drink. Honestly, very dangerous to drink. I mean, if you drink anything high proof, it'll feel like you're drinking water, but with lots of flavor. So, really, really good price on that too. If you can get it for around 35 bucks or less. Roughly $2.50. I believe that's the typical price in those. Yeah, I mean, depending on which batch, $2.50 is not bad at all. Obviously, the older ones can be more desirable. Yeah, $2.50 for a batch of Old Carter. It really just depends on which batch, but I wouldn't know the list without checking my phone. There's definitely some batches that seem more appealing than others. Some of them are based off of reviews, so you're basing it off someone else's opinion and their palate. But some people have pretty established palates that line up pretty well with mine. You said you would have stopped at that light? I wouldn't have, and I didn't. We commit traffic infractions live on stream. Only like 3 cars got through that light too. It is tough to spend that kind of price, JP, when it comes to a bottle that I've never tried before. But for the sake of content, I don't mind doing that every once in a while. I can't just walk in to your local mom and pop and pay full secondary ×2 on a bottle just to try for the sake of content, but we get it at the right price where it's still, within reason for the price of that bottle. I don't mind doing that every once in a while. Could potentially go to some fancy whiskey bars that have them too, but that gets really expensive paying for pours and then trying to, do videos or live stream at a bar. Loud, obnoxious people and loud music would be pretty tough to have any kind of enjoyable content. We need like a private area or a private lounge to do all that, and then I feel like I'm asking too much for them to like basically cater to me. right, Specs is going to be not the first light, but the second light. Once we get through that second light, we'll take a right and we'll be there. Cheers, Jesus. Have a good day, man. Allergies are bothering me today. Actually, they've been bothering me like the last few days. Been sneezing a lot more lately. Something in the air. All right, let's try our luck and see if our cell phone reception will stay intact. Yes, I did get my $22 for eating that beef liver. That was really painful. I would like to not do that again. My bowels did not thank me the next day after eating an entire bag of beef liver. Northwest wildfires and California fires. Yeah, maybe that is what's come down this way. Been tearing me up. Reserve. Got the 1.75 and 750 of the special reserve. I'm not seeing anything new in the case. Check the bourbon aisle. Surprised we have any kind of cell phone reception in here. I know it disconnected and then picked us back up, but we'll see if it stays. Images might be blurry right now. Spinning loading circles. Rickhouse 2 on their barrel proof. Super blurry, yeah. It's the cell phone reception in here. If I see anything notable, like they got 3 Knob Creek 12s left at $62.99. That's about all I can do is just shout out what I see. Gotta love having shitty cell phone reception. It's just this building though. Giant metal roof, 1792 full proof. Looks like they still have 7 cases and 2 bottles. They got a 7-year Tumbling Dice single barrel proof rye pick, Specs pick. 116.86 proof at $81.99. Willet small batch rye. Got the Green River rye here for $33.99. Yeah, the cell phone reception in here blows, so hopefully you guys can still hear the audio. They have the Knob Creek Burr Rye, that's 113 proof for $38.29, and a Knob Creek Single Barrel Select at 115 proof for $49.99. The A Overholt Magnolia Mash, that's $34.99 here. Got some Jack Daniel Barrel Proof Rye. I'm not really seeing anything in here, guys, so we're just going to pick up some snacks, and then we're going to make our way to the register, and if we get anything allocated, we'll make sure we get a photo of it with a thumbnail, and we'll put it in the description, and we'll get this posted whenever I get to work. But I think we're going to call it here. That way we got free hands to grab some snacks and drinks. I don't see any Nulu experimentals, too. We're looking for that honey finish if we can find one, or even a maple finish, so Other than that, guys, didn't really see anything, so really appreciate you guys. Mr. Wom says, have you tried any of the BNDT bent distillery stuff from Louisville, Texas? I have not. Funny story though, a guy that used to work with us, a supervisor actually, he left, and that's his brand, so I am familiar with that brand. I just haven't tried any of their stuff yet. No, this one's not the one with the Balcones gift set. The other store was the one that was over by the Goody Goody in Bedford. That store has the Balcones gift set. So if you want one of those, that's the place to get it. So we're gonna go ahead and tab out here, guys. Appreciate you guys. Sorry that the cell phone reception sucks in here, and I'll see you guys for the next one.